Hello, my name is Trinity. If you are here, you must be here to talk about books because I'm here to talk about books. So, if you're not here to talk about books, I don't know why you found me. Okay, so today I am going to be doing the anti-TBR tag. I watched Elliot Brooks do this video and I will link the original creator in my description box. I like doing these videos because they give you guys a sense of my taste. They say, should we follow this chick? Because maybe the tastes don't align. However, I will also say I follow a lot of YouTubers who my tastes do not align with, because sometimes when they don't like a book, that's just as good as a recommendation from a booktuber I trust. Like, I trust that you don't like that and I will. So that doesn't mean you have to unfollow me just because we don't have the same book taste, but it also gives you an idea of what you'll find content-wise from me. It also gives you an idea of if you will like future videos of mine. So I like doing these just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up of what's coming. So the first question on the anti-TBR tag is a popular book that everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. Now, there's a lot that I could actually put on this list, and I have in the past said a few, and one in particular that I actually blocked the words from my Twitter feed because I got so sick of hearing about it. But should I mention it again? The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have no interest in reading that particular book. And yes, I blocked the words Addie LaRue on my Twitter account. So I didn't hear anything else about it. As far as other books go, there's not been anything released recently that I'm just like, that is not for me. I don't care. So until something else comes out that I just feel that way about, I don't know that my answer is going to change. The next question is, what is a classic book or author you are not interested in reading? Oh, there's a lot. So again, if you haven't seen any of my videos, you may not know that I have a degree in English literature. I have read a ton of classics, a ton. And there's a lot I never want to read again. Thomas Hardy, no thank you. No thank you at all. I have no interest in reading anything by him. There's Lolita, let's not go there. I don't need pedophilia in my life. There's quite a few. Now, I am also reluctant to pick up classic novels, i.e. Daphne du Maurier, Jane Austen, things like that, because they put me back in the academic mindset and not in a, this is a book I should enjoy. And I really, really hate that whenever I can't get into the book because my brain goes back to college. And I don't know why. I really don't. It has been years since I graduated. But classics are really hard for me to get into, and now I am trying to get into a little bit more classic fantasy because they don't quite do that. And when I say classic fantasy, there are some I'm still not going to read. So this is an anti-TBR, so you'll probably hear about those in just a minute. An author whose works you're not interested in reading. This is really hard for me too because I'm mostly an open book. I don't like saying that there are authors out there that I refuse to read. I don't believe in cancel culture, and so for that reason, I might not pick up a book or series by particular authors. I don't know. Oh, I'm totally lying. Okay, so many times the Dragon Riders of Pern has been recommended to me, and I've always, like I said, been open with particular books and authors, and I don't have any qualms really in picking up things that are dark or problematic, I guess you could say. However, I had come across a few reviews that was talking about the Dragon Riders of Pern and why it's problematic. And I was like, what? I had never heard anything like that about it being problematic. And when I read the things that made the Dragon Riders of Pern problematic, I was triggered just by reading the reviews. And I had to be like, this is not the series or the author for me. I know that people love Anne McCaffrey, but there is no way I'm reading a book about marital rape. There is no way I am reading a book written by a woman that demeans women. It's just not going to happen. And I know that there are people who are going to tell me, oh, no, it's not like that. These reviews triggered me. So I can't imagine that the books won't. And as much as I would like to read classic fantasy and really get my hands on some old school stuff to love, I genuinely think that Anne McCaffrey is not the author for me. An author whose books you tried and decided they weren't for you. Where do we begin? George R.R. Martin, A Song of Ice and Fire. I have read Game of Thrones. You might not know that because of the way I talk about it, but I did, and I hated it. I thought the 5-page description of the wall was absolutely ridiculous. I don't need my hand to be held that much during a fantasy novel, and I do not like that much description. And the scene before it with Tyrion was fantastic. I love his character work, but I am not going to torture myself with 5 pages of description of a dang wall. No, I hate that. Robert Jordan. Do we need these in-depth descriptions of like what people are wearing? Like, I read 2 of them. I read 2 of the Wheel of Time series, and no, I don't need any of that. And it's not, no. Stephen King rambles and I can't handle it. And I just don't like his writing. And I understand that these people are geniuses in their own right. And I respect them. I have the utmost respect and, whatever for them, but no, they're not for me, and that's fine. That is completely fine. A genre you have no interest in reading, that would be contemporary. Zero interest. I can't say that because I read, spoiler alert, and it was fantastic. But 99.9% of the time, contemporaries do not appeal to me in the slightest. I do not like slice of life novels. I do not like reading about normal things. I like fantasy. I like the supernatural. I like horror. I like things that are outside the realm of my bubble. And why am I going to put myself back in my bubble? I don't want to do that. I don't like that. A book you have bought but will never read. So, I had a slight obsession with Walden by Henry David Thoreau, and when my mom found out, she bought me this beautiful, beautiful copy of Walden. I never even took it out of the little plastic that it's wrapped in because I didn't want to damage the book. And good thing, because when our house fire happened, it was in my bookshelf in the living room that had the ceiling collapse on it. And so it was still protected because it's still in that plastic cover and it's safe. And you guys haven't seen it because it's in another room, but yeah, I will never read that book. I have read Walden, but I will never read that copy of that book. A series you have DNF'd or a series you have no interest in starting. So a series that I recently DNF'd would be Laurel K. Hamilton's Anita Blake series. There are 30 books in that series, and it's to the point that Anita has nowhere else to go. The stories are no longer interesting, and we're getting a lot of repeats of past things that have happened and a whole lot of author insertion into the Anita Blake stories, which we all knew that Anita Blake was based off of Laurel K. Hamilton anyway, but it's just, I have no interest in continuing that series with the route it has taken and where Anita currently is, and I'm sad about that because I invested a lot of time. I think I got to book 24 or something like that and then just stopped. So there's that. And a series that I have no interest in reading would be Malazan Book of the Fallen, because I have heard so many things about it that put me off to it. And guys, let me just say that I do love fantasy. And the gatekeeping with people not liking Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, Malazan, it's a little ridiculous. Like, it is. It's a little ridiculous. When people tell me they don't like Mistborn or any other Sanderson novel, or, you know, Weeks. Weeks is sometimes problematic. I don't care. I'm like, oh, I'm sad for you because I like them. But if you don't like them, okay, that's fine. And I realize that these are staples in the genre, but I have no desire to read something that is going to give me a headache. So I don't have the patience for the rambling storylines, and I don't have the patience for the slow build novels. So that is a personal preference of mine. And so my answer is Malazan, Book of the Fallen. A new release that you have no interest in. How am I supposed to pick a release that I have no interest, new release that I have no interest in? Because there's not, hang on, I'm gonna have to look these up. Like I've said before, I am pretty open to just about anything. I'll try anything except Malazan. No, I'm not trying that. And, you know, so I don't really know. Checking my Goodreads to see what has released this month. Oh, tempted to say a particular one, but I won't. Okay, that was easy. There's a new Anita Blake novel. I won't be reading that. I have no interest in Ellen Hopkins. So there's a new book release from her that I won't be reading. And another series that I DNF'd would be the Fever series by Karen Marie Moning, and Kingdom of Shadow and Light is releasing this month, and I have no interest in that either. I did like the original series, but I don't like the Dany spinoffs, so I won't be reading those. But that is it for today's video. I hope you had some fun with me. I hope you guys got to know me a little bit better. I hope you guys got a chance to decide if our tastes align. You know, I like doing videos like this so you guys know whether or not to follow me. So like, subscribe, do all the fun things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!